Hey everyone, Mr. Happy here, just doing a quick video on the patch 7.18 patch notes. A patch that I'm sure many will echo in the comments section, no pun intended, probably should have been quite some time ago. For those who don't know what to expect in this patch, we know of, well, at least two things, but one of them is the more major component. But what do you say we just scroll down and get into it, because what's the point of repeating what I'm going to say several times over, as if I don't do that for a living enough right now. So the first thing we knew was being added was this new emote. It's a Polaroid picture emote. It's part of a collaboration. What is it, with the Fujifilm, I think? There's also going to be a picture contest with this one as well. I don't think the details are posted on that yet as of the recording of this video. But be on the lookout for that as well if you're someone who likes to enter the different contests. And if you don't, you get a new emote. It just says new emote added. I don't know if it was like put someplace, like if it's part of PvP or something, but here it is. Enjoy. New emote. And then the main thing that people were expecting from this patch, normal and savage Arcadian restrictions basically all completely removed for the first 4 fights. The first thing here is a weekly restriction on receiving light heavy hollow blades from AAC light heavyweight M4. Yeah, Arcadian normal, that's been removed. So it's originally 7 in its weekly lock, then they move it to 4 in its weekly lock. Now it's 4 and completely unlocked, so you can farm them to get a tombstone, a heliometry tombstone weapon as soon as possible. Then the savage restrictions, treasure coffers always appear, no reduction of rewards, no matter how many people have cleared. Weekly restriction on treasure coffers removed. Weekly entrance restriction has been removed. Players may now proceed directly to any area. So yeah, it's just all savage unlocked. Yeah, I mean, how many times have we had the discussion? You don't even have to scroll down and look in the comment section. You don't even have to scroll down and comment. You should. But I already know y'all are going to say the same thing. Could have had this way sooner. And most people seem to want it sooner. And maybe one day they'll do it sooner. But here we are. It's been how many weeks since the tier came out? It's what, 4 weeks after launch. 19 weeks between patches. So it's 34 weeks? Ugh. That's not good. This should have at the very least been like, if they really wanted to drag it out, this should have been like 4 weeks ago. The 30-week mark probably would have been much better. And in my opinion, you could probably do it around the 25, 26. You could do it even earlier. I don't care. Do it at the 19-week mark. I don't care. I don't care. Just unlock it. Just whatever. We'll have this discussion many more times, I'm sure. Oh, yeah. And then on top, I always forget that this happens. The solvent to upgrade the tombstone, the heliometry weapon to 730, you can get that with Ordell coins now from the 24-man. So, yeah, that's available. And if you don't know where that NPC is, there's always a quick reminder in the patch notes. Now, PvP. So, I've said this in a few other videos. I have not looked at the 7.1 PvP update at all. I know that Viper and Picto largely didn't change. They told us they wouldn't, but I literally have no idea how all the other jobs were updated for 7.1, other than like a few people telling me like, yeah, you know, this happened and this happened, like one-off comments. I think we do a video this week where I actually educate myself, because I really enjoy shoutcasting some PvP stuff. I have from time to time, but my knowledge base is so far off, I can't even do that. There's a tournament coming up where they're going to be doing some shoutcasting, and I wanted to kind of like host one on my own channel because I like doing it too. But I literally don't have the knowledge base. I know the most about Pictomancer and Viper, in all honesty, because those didn't really change. So yeah, we might do that later this week. There's a few other things I want to do this week. Magic the Gathering, I kind of want to take a look at. This is a good thing to do. And there's a whole bunch of other videos that I've been too distracted IRL to get to. So hopefully I can get some work done this week. So Guard. Now this is something I know very well. Guard having its duration reduced to 4 seconds, and the movement speed decreased down to only 1/3 of your movement speed. So you cover about the same amount of space. I'm sure the math doesn't entirely support that, because 1 less second with 17% more distances, you know, over 4 seconds versus 5 seconds. Yeah, actually, it does almost work out that way. Yeah, for me, I probably would have just left it at 5 and made it 33% so that it can be used better as a repositioning tool. I get the reduction, but with the way Guard is, here's the thing. I'm saying this not knowing if they've added any new Guard disruption tools like Monk's Ultimate and any other tools in the game. But for me, I don't know. I feel like Guard's importance warrants that 5 seconds, especially with how snappy dying can be. I'd really rather have that extra second to get, like, for me that matters more. But it's what it is. We'll see if it goes back up to 5 seconds. Paladin getting some damage nerfs. Intervene getting its cooldown increase, so Paladin getting a small nerf. I mean, actually, Intervene going to 15 seconds and Holy Spirit going to 6,000. That's pretty significant. Monk wins reply, getting a buff. The pressure, I don't know what that means. I guess wins reply is something I something to look forward to. And Meteo Drive, that one I know. Remember the guard thing I was talking about? Range increased. I don't know if that's good or bad. Like, when I was playing in 6.x, whenever I've used Meteo Drive, it was normally to one-shot somebody. And being able to do that from further away, I mean, I guess maybe the idea is the trade-off is you can get to the person from further away, and it gives you an initiation tool, because monks back then, at the very least, were generally like go in and die, but take out a higher value target than themselves. And so they're doing this from further away. I don't know if that's going to make it more difficult for your team to follow up. Probably more punishing if you end up in a situation where you are not isolated and you cannot kill the target. You can be locked down more easily because you're further away from your team. You're further in enemy territory. But it's going to be hilarious. I can promise you that. Ninja, Fuma having its recast reduced, Dokomori having its recast increase, and its effect duration reduced, so Dokomori apparently wreaking havoc. Bunshin potency of the additional attack has been reduced, so Ninja I'm seeing is probably doing a little too well. Additional damage granted by Bunshin will no longer ignore the effects of guard when using Assassin. Oh, wow, yeah, so remember when I said guard ignoring stuff? Well, now I know Bunshin was doing that, but it's not doing it anymore. Doton, reduction to damage taken has been reduced. Oh, yeah, they're just hitting it across the board. It's damage, it's assassination potential, it's utility. However, Seiton Tenshu now ignores the effective guard when dealing damage. So I wonder if all of this is just to counterbalance the fact that this happened and this happened. Curious how all of that will function together with each other. Samurai getting a small HP nerf, but getting a damage increase on Zanshin. Viper getting a small damage increase and a big movement speed increase on World Swallower. And Ouroboros damage converted in HP has been increased. Yeah, so their sustain on Ouroboros gone way, way up. That's going to be, honestly, that could be kind of menacing. If they're not locked down, if they're locked down, it probably doesn't matter at all. But their dueling capability goes way up with stuff like this, especially with the HP increase. Bard, reduction of recast time of harmonic arrow has been increased. Reduction of recast time. So it's better now. It reduces it by 5 seconds instead of 4. Okay. And then same with Pitch Perfect. And then Harmonic Arrow has had its... So Harmonic Arrow just is... Again, I don't even know what that does, but... it seems like you're just going to be doing a lot more of them. It seems like Harmonic Arrow is like... what's it called? Imperial Arrow. That's how it's coming off to me just from the way these interactions are working, but probably wrong about that. Blast charge number of heat stacks required to grant overheat has been reduced, so you will get it more often. So you only need 4 stacks of heat. Don't know how stacks of heat work in PvP, but that's a buff. I can tell you that much. Saber Dance. When striking multiple targets, potency has been changed to 12,000 for the first target and 8,000 for all remaining. I guess without the context of the original right next to it. I don't have the full context of that. Striking multiple targets, same with Dance of the Dawn, which is an upgraded Saber Dance, 15,000 to 10. Yeah, without the original potencies, I couldn't tell you much about that. Black Mage Lethargy, reduction to target damage dealt has been increased, so this is a buff. Target of damage reduction has been increased, heavy duration has been reduced. So Lethargy, not debilitating their movement as much, but you can use it slightly more often and can be used to help kill a target more easily. Okay, I think that's a decent trade-off. And Pictomancer, Holy and White, getting a small buff. Smudge getting its recast time reduced. That's nice. And Tempera Grassa, the barrier, getting buffed. Tempora Coat recast time is no longer reduced when the barrier is completely absorbed. Tempera Coat recast. I'm assuming it's saying that the unupgraded... So Tempera Coat, I'm trying to think... It's been a while since I've looked at Picto skills. That's a single target one, I'm pretty sure. Not the AoE one. Like that's not the name of the buff that Tempera Grassa gives you. It doesn't give you a Tempera Coat. So I think that's just... oh, but you know what? It's saying that when Grassa's shield is destroyed, the base skill, Tempera Coat... Yeah, okay, I get it now. So you would... I guess that's only on Grassa, but I'm assuming if you use Coat on yourself, it would still reduce the cooldown. I guess I'd have to see the whole thing, but that's how I'm understanding that. And then they're also making some change to Crystalline Conflict. The duration of the Swift Sprint status given at each team's starting point will be adjusted in the following arenas. The duration status given at each team's starting point when the Tactical Crystal has not cleared either checkpoint, so when it's stalled in the middle, has been reduced from 5 to 4. Probably because it's less urgent for you to get to the center. So I get it. I don't know that that change really needs to happen, but at least I understand the reasoning. And the duration of Swift Sprint status given at team's starting point when the Tactical Crystal has cleared the opposing team's checkpoint will be reduced. So they're trying to make it harder for you in the Palestra specifically, I mind you, if your opponent has the crystal pushed into their checkpoint, past their checkpoint, the opposing team that's pushing the crystal cannot get back to the crystal as quickly, which gives you some leeway. Like if you end up kind of in a 5-4 situation and it's still kind of stalling, like you have a little bit more time to make a play. You don't have to worry about them getting back. It also means that any sort of stagger kill has more comeback potential. So, yeah, that actually makes a lot of logical sense to try to give the team. What it could lead to is games stalling out slightly longer, but generally in my experience in Crystalline Conflict, when a team is pushing past the checkpoint and let's say you accidentally take an L, right, and the other team starts pushing back, more often than not, the team that was able to push the checkpoint quickly enough, about 6 times out of 10, you know, with some slight leeway, they're probably going to get back to that point regardless, because they were probably winning for the most part and able to pull back. Now, it's obviously in more competitive games, not the case, but in the more competitive games, I think this could end up stalling out the games a lot longer, as long as the teams are relatively close in skill and in execution. Now, that's for the Palestra, though. In the Volcanic Heart, the Swift Sprint status during each team's starting point when the tactical crystal is not cleared will be reduced from 4 to 3, and then the same condition when you have cleared the opposing team's checkpoint will be reduced from 8 to 6. So same deal. The team starting point when the tactical crystal has cleared the opponent's. Yeah, I'm just making sure I understand what this is saying. And it's saying that you will have less sprint when you have cleared your opponent's crystal checkpoint. Okay, yeah, same idea, and honestly still makes sense. The Volcanic Heart is so small too. Like you could probably even make this 4 or 5, and it would achieve probably a better result if that's really what you're going for, is to make sure that getting back to the crystal and rejoining the team and then dominating over the other team that's defending is not as debilitating. Slash photograph, that's for the emote we showed at the top, which by the way, it didn't say new rewards were added to anything, so I am assuming we all just have that emote now. And then resolved issues, an issue within visiting another data center subcommand via the character selection screen wherein a portion of the text displayed under using the data center travel system is incorrect. Hadn't noticed, to be honest. An issue in specific areas on island sanctuaries wherein gathering points did not display on the minimap. Wow, didn't expect an island sanctuary change. And other various issues. Not sure what they are, but various ones. So I guess did Jordan Schlansky write that last bit? Anytime they say that, I'm just like I perform various duties. I'm executive producer. I'm assistant producer or whatever it is. Jordan Schlansky patch notes. There you go. All right, and that's patch 7.18 patch notes for 14. For those who don't know, we are about a month away from patch 7.2, which, while 7.2 itself is likely to be very standard, 7.25 or 7.2x in that series is likely to have a lot of stuff that people have been waiting for that has taken far too long to come out this expansion. So definitely a patch that I'm looking forward to for making content for all of you. But let me know what you think in the comment section of the video below. When do you think Savage Rewards should be unlocked? Don't say immediately. Say 7.1 is the earliest, right? Okay, you can go a little earlier. What do I care? Go nuts. Thanks for watching. I will see all of you in the next video, and until then, take care.